Oh yes, it's that Friday feeling. Welcome to Dad's Laser Hangout. My name's Chris, and for the next few minutes, or maybe 20, 30, whatever it's going to be, we're going to be building. Yes, the Harrier build once again. So without further ado, let's do it. Oh yes, so look at this. We are taking out the jig. The jig is gone. Yes, we did have a little mess up actually. Look at this picture just quickly. Yes, I got all excited and gluing and bits and pieces, and I wasn't putting the laser on at the same time. But that's okay. It's okay. I had a chat with my good friend George from Formax. He said, just cut it. So I cut the back, as you can see, I think. There you go. Cut the back and then restuck it, and it was laser all lovely, and it was all lovely jubbly and inline and stuff. Yeah, stuff. So we're at the jig, and it is feeling a bit more solid now, and yes, I've probably broken this a few more times, but hey, I should be counting really. So our FP1s are in and done. Now I did have to, just here, I did have to rub that down a bit, these FP1s, because it was obstructing. I don't know why it was, but it was. And I just quickly rubbed that down. There's a bit of glue there. Good thing about this glue, this aliphatic glue, it's really friendly, sanding friendly. Yes. So yeah, so I just a bit there you go. So that was all. So I did sand it down so it's nice and smooth, because it was just obstructing the EDF. So I just put the tape back on the EDF, because I did take it off because I'm going to use it for another plane, if you remember. Yes. So that's on, and then we're ready to stick it in. Now, as from the picture, it says right back, if I can do that, that should be there. There you go. The little tabs, these little tab things here. Tabs. What camera do you want? Any camera. These little tabs fit at the back. So it looks like in the picture they're in line with the back. So, but you can't go back any further anyway. So I'm just going to do one at a time. Now, I think I'm going to probably use my M3 hex bolts. So they're pretty cool, which I normally use for servos. And I think that should fit in nicely. Yes, that will. So I'm going to stick that in there. I don't know if it doesn't call for any sort of like stuff, you know, like to make it nice. What's the word I'm looking for? Spongy stuff, yes, something just to stop it vibrating. Doesn't ask for that, so maybe you don't need it. So I'm only going to do what Paul, Tony, not Paul. Who's Paul anyway? Get out. Anyway, so we get this is great little drill. This is called Aeromax, and there we go. Look at that. It's got all these little screws. It's really cool. It's good fun. It's electric and everything, and you probably find that I'll go and turn it on now, and it won't be powered up. Is it coming on? It's USB powered. There's a USB lead somewhere, is there? No, it's a Type C. Type C. Let me charge this up. I'll be right back. Alrighty, so I'm going to leave that charging for a little while. It's got a bit warm in the hangar now. It is now warming up. It was absolutely freezing this morning, but I didn't get a chance to set up yesterday. I was working late yesterday on bits and pieces, so I wasn't prepared as usual. But hey, would I be any different? No. Right, so now I've got these bits of acetate sheets from our lovely shop that we get everything from, Mr. Amazon, with other bits and pieces as well, because it's the best acetate I can find, the A3 sheet. Now there is an outline here that you can cut it, that Tony has put on here like most of his other stuff. So I thought I would lightly cut it, and then hopefully I can heavy cut it. That makes sense, off the paper. Otherwise I'm going to end up cutting the paper, which I don't want to do, because it's got lots of other stuff on there, not just the outlines for the acetate. There you go. Hoping that I can. Now I've just moved that as well, I think. Did I? Yes, I did. Let's move that back. There's probably other ways that you're saying, Chris, you could have done it this way or could have done it that way, but right, so this way I've got to be very gentle, because I've got to go around. I think most of the things that I've learnt doing model building, which I haven't had lots of experience for, is taking your time. Unfortunately, taking my time does extend the videos for a period of time that I wanted not to go that far with. You know, I wanted it to be quite a quick build. So, you know, people might, who watch them, can help them if they're building this themselves, which I'm sure you will. I'm hoping I'm not pressing too hard. Oh dear. Oh, I felt that go through. I'm going to end up cutting this, I think. Let's have a look. Right. So that's followed it through. No, the paper's good. The paper's good. The plans are good. Because we've got to do a bit of bolstering as well soon. We're going to start excuse me, covering covering the plane. Okay. Not sure where that is. Not sure where my cover's gone. It was somewhere. You know, my little thing. So it doesn't matter. I can cut into this. It's there for. This is that plasterboard stuff that's there for a reason. For when I'm putting pins in and stuff. So let me just. Hopefully we're still seeing. We are ish. Alright, and there we go, and this is apparently meant to make a tube, I guess, or something. So it's slightly a bit thicker acetate than I wanted. I did want it a bit thinner, but there you go. Alright, so we're all charged. Now this is really cool actually. Again, I mean they're kind of magnetic and all sorts of things, but if you turn this on now, I don't know if this is going to come the right way on the camera. But we'll give it a go. If I can turn it on, if I can remember how to turn it on. Is it press and hold? One of the two. Press and hold maybe. There we go, press and hold the top one. So first of all, you can get speed. So we want number 4 speed. And then what happens is that you press it and it goes one way. Press it again and it reverses and stop. Little things. Right, so you have to excuse if you can't see, but and it's got little lights as well, so it's quite good. For some reason I don't know if it's twisted or it's me, or it's just the wood, I don't know. I want to get that. Let's get that in there so now I can actually drill it. I can find my hole, missus. Little things. I think it's really great. So yes, so we'll use some of these little screws. Now they do. I'm a bit concerned because obviously when they go in, there's a bit of movement there. So maybe it's a bit of movement. Yeah, there's a little bit of movement in there. The trouble is, in any of the pictures on the drawings and stuff, it doesn't show you what's used. It just says screw it. Does it say screw it? So yeah, so to screw it in, so it's almost like it needs a bolt or something in there because. Well, if you can see that, can you see that? Can I? It's not going to. No. I reckon I'll be alright. Famous last words, but you know. So let's screw that in. Am I seeing up there? So that is tight. That's not moving, is it? So that's great. Now, we'll put these in here. I need to check which way it goes round, but I can do that. I'm not too bothered for that at the moment. Mainly because they're the wrong ends. We're not doing too good today, are we? Okay, so I decided to take out the fan. Yes, I could have shot round to George at Formax. He's not too far away from me. But Tom had got there and I would have probably chinwagged with him, just chatted until the cows came home, as I do. And yeah, it would have been yeah, too much. So I said to George, is it alright if I use an 80 amp ESC? Is it okay? And if you actually look on here, if you are building, it does say on the plans as 60 to 80. And I always thought, well, yeah, bigger, and maybe it's not going to get so hot. So bigger is better, as they say. I will have to change the XT90 to an XT60. And I didn't know this until I just spoke to George, actually. See, I like to use, this is more of the sort of like diversionary stuff going on here. I use these little XT60s on here, and they've got like a little hood that fits over the back, a bit like this one here, gets the hood bits over the back. And I didn't realise this, and I've never seen it on here until he told me, and I read here, it says XT60H and -F for female. And female for obvious reasons. We don't need to go into that. I'm sure you learned that years ago. If not, then this is the wrong channel for you. So yeah, I didn't know that. So I'm going to get a load. He's got a load of H's, so I'm going to get that. For now, I'm not going to cut this one off. I'm going to use a step down, so from a 90 to a 60, just to test the EDF once it's back in the body, because we need to know that the jet is firing the right, correct way. Now, also, just to let you know that something that George is saying, this is basically a Hoover. So anything, when you are testing an EDF, anything that's near it, like a bit of string, cable, anything, it will suck it in like a Hoover. Oh yes, your personal little Hoover. I just said, the watcher said, what are you doing now? What are you going to do? And I said, I want to go to the hangar and I'm going to do some hoovering. Not lying. No. Now, this is an important thing as well. If you're in the UK, we don't import stuff with lead inside solder for some reason. Don't ask me why. Probably because it's bad. Maybe. I don't know. So you get normal solder, like your sort of average solder that you get in the UK, and it's this lead-free solder. So with lead-free solder, it can give you dry joints. It's a nightmare trying to solder anything to fresh cable, and you normally have to use a bit of flux, which is basically bad. But we do sell, or I did get this from Formax. It's called rosin core solder wire. Rosin. Okay, I thought I was saying that wrong. You know me and my wording. Rosin. It's got rosin inside it, so it heats up and it stops you getting from any solder. Because what people don't understand is that, you know, it could work straight away, but after a while that could fail because it's a dry solder joint. Most of the time it doesn't work straight away. You get that where it's, I mean, I remember my father told me years ago when you're soldering, or my grandfather and my father, my pop, I called him. He used to tell me when you solder and it's not shiny, it's more likely to be a dry solder joint. Yes. Obviously, there's people that's probably super brilliant solderers out there, so you don't need this. You can fast forward this if you want. But I thought, well, it's all part of learning, and it's part of doing this and a part of doing that, so why not? So make sure I've got no sticky outy bits and they're kind of turned. I mean, sometimes you can cut them and they'll just be perfect. You don't need to twist. So I'm hoping that this would go on there nicely. It does. I might just squish that up to about 27. I'm sure out there's people that know exactly what temperature this should be. So feed the solder into it. I want to see how nice this is, how good this solder is. Come on. Dodgy hands. Yeah, that's not too bad. It's pretty good. That's sinking in. Ha! I'll just... It stopped filming. I just realised. So lucky enough, I've got one more to do. So I'll show you how I was doing, how I find it easy to do. So this is going to have to stand up because the cable's quite small. Now this does help me because this stuff got all like heats up mega. So I don't put any solder in there. I just fill this up with flux. If I can stick it in there. And it kind of makes it heat up so very quickly and lovely. I'll just put that on there. And then I stood it up and I stick it in. Hopefully you're going to see this on the video. There you go. And I just leave there just so it's just a bit exposed, which it is. Get this solder, this resin, whatever it's called. And then just at the top of the cap, just push in, just with that cable and just push in. And you see with the flux, it immediately, then I just pull out, keeping it on there, pull out. Oh, gold moved. Sorry, pull out, and then I push in again, and it brings the solder in with it. once it's done that, then I can just solder just a bit more to make sure that I've got a nice solder joint. There you go. You can see the solder comes out that little hole at the top. It just bubbles out, and there you go. We've got a nice shiny solder joint. Which camera are we on? Nice solder joint anyway. Hopefully we'll find out. But they're all shiny. They're all full of solder. So that says to me, great stuff. Excuse me. Right, so I'm going to get the blue and hold that because that is a bit bigger. I think this is 4:1 maybe. So this should shrink right down. It says. There we go. Heat shrink's a lovely thing, huh? Heat shrink and also Velcro. Love it a bit. There you go. Make sure they go round and round, and there we go. So hopefully now when I stick this to the yeah, there you go. It's still a bit showing there, but once I think what I'll do is I'll just get a bit excuse me, a bit so it will cover it, and then once we get the speed controller the correct way around, so we're getting thrust, then I'll heat shrink it so it will definitely never spark or touch. Okay, so I've got the EDF back into the fuselage, or the fuzz, or the fuse, or the yes, it's in there. I did notice that when I put the FP1s in, I think they might have just a bit not quite level, which I'm quite surprised, because I did put clamps, as you saw, on the back to keep it level. So what I did do is I cut some more flat heat shrink, the big stuff, just at the back, just to lift it off. It was literally about 2mm, but obviously 2mm here is a bit more here. So, and yes, it probably wouldn't have mattered, but I know it's there. So anyway, so on the back here, you get these like little things once again from that shop called A. And yes, A, you should pay me loads of money to mention you, but there you go. And you got hooks, and I don't know, there's hook and something, isn't it? Hook and loop and hook. I don't know. Anyway, I call it fluffy, not so fluffy. So I always put the fluffy on the ESC, and then I put the grabby or the hooky on the side of here. So the actual ESC fits here, and then the cables sort of loop around there like so, and then we do have a little top piece going on there. Now I have marked this, so what I want to do is now I've marked it, I'll get my hookies. Get over there. 2 hookies. Now what is a good idea as well when you're doing this stuff is just to put a slight bit of cyano super glue just down the edge, because if this does heat up or in the sun or anything random, there we go. So there's 2 hooks there. Can you see that? Yeah. It can come unstuck. I've got a new fingerprints. It's called Rocket. So let's stick that on there. There you go. Let's see, nice fit. Oh wow. Okay, so where was we? Well, so I can see it. You can see it. Everyone can see it. Let's make sure that it goes down. There you go. It goes down the pipe. And there we go. I just want a bit of cyano just to go down the side of it. Don't put it in the middle, because then it just becomes crusty and you lose the hooking. It's just to keep it so it doesn't pull away if it gets too hot, because you know I've seen this before. Basically I've realised it before, not so much on balsa but on foamies. So I can leave that there. The good thing about it, you can leave this there and it will seal up, but then just cut the end and it's fine again. Or you could just take it off and throw it away and get a new one. Right, okay, make sure that's fine. It is. I'll get super glue off later on. Okay, so while that's, I could spray it, but just to make it set it off a bit more, but we'll leave that. Just make sure that it's gluing into place. In fact, what I'll do, I'll spray it with my activator blaster, rocket blaster, and that should seal straight away, which it is, because I want to wait until that's dry before I stick it on, otherwise you're never going to get it off. Right, okay, So now let's stick the thingy, speed controller, down to where it's meant to. Let's just turn it on the side, sorry if you can't see. So it's on that ledge, like so. And let's connect some of these bad boys up. So I'll just put some white heat shrink on there that I can cover for the middle. I put white because I thought it would be all white. And then that wheel stuff down there, I think I've just put it, I've got to be careful because I'm going to pull it so hard that I'll pull the balsa. Really soft balsa, there you go, and it will fit in there down like that and like so. But what I need to do now, so I put in a, there you go, it's like a little, from 90 to 60. I use it for my, I might put some more actually on there and just so it's sturdy, but you don't need to see that. I'll do that in a minute. I'm going to put that in. I just want to make sure that the battery is correct. Right, what you got to make sure, so if you get one of these, you got yourself a little tester. So this is a Circon, it's basically, I use it for servo tester. Make sure that this is on the out. Must be on the out, otherwise you're going to be in trouble. Get that in, make sure it goes all the way to the left. Then obviously using a 4S battery. This is one of George's great purple power. Purple power! And if I push that in, okay, 1, 3, 4, okay. Okay, now it's in manual, so basically make sure that nothing can suck into it. And I'm just going to put it out, my fingers out the way. I'm just going to go very slowly. And that is going the right way. Oh, that's nice. Oh, it's nice and cool actually. Name that tune in 3. Well, there you go. The day has gone full circle. It's now getting very cold again out there. Well, there you go. I did want to do more today, but we've got it to the state where she's ready. She's all built in bits and pieces, and this little piece of timber here will be fitting on top, and I've got to glue that in place, and then we can start cutting out the balsa and start doing our first bit of you can actually see that our first bit of sheeting, which was hopefully to do today, but obviously I wasn't expecting to do all the soldering and stuff like that. So, but I thought I might as well film it because, you know, you might come up with the same thing and it might be your first time soldering, or you'll get that same issue in bits and pieces. But if you are a newbie and a freshman into the building and bits, so always check your parts anyway, which I do not. But that electronics was from another machine, but I should have checked it anyway. Yeah, get your parts so they all fit correctly. But we're moving along on it slowly, but it's happening, and I'm quite happy with what's going on so far. Next week we will be doing the sheeting and some covering and some shaping. I'm going to try and preempt some bits and pieces, try and do some bits beforehand so they're ready, rather than sort of having to wait stuff. But I'd like to go through a procedure that I've done in my journey, as to say, of building the Harrier, because you might be doing it yourself. For those of you who follow my social media and bits and pieces of my Facebook page, Dad's RC Hangar, then you saw, yes, the blue tape parcel has entered the building. Yes. What's inside it? Well, you'll find out in a little while. It's I'm not going to make a video for quite a while for it, and I actually forgot I ordered it, and then I remembered why I ordered it. So I do know what I've got, which is quite funny actually, because I actually forgot it was coming. But anyway, if you can get out this weekend, and it's a great weather for doing any kind of RC, whether it's boating or cars or planes or anything that you can think of that's RC and makes you feel great and makes you feel that Friday feeling all day long, then go do it. If not, if you can't get out and it's bad weather and all that sort of rubbish, get inside the hangar, have a bit of fun building, and make sure you don't do what I do. It's silly mistakes that tend to sort of take a lot of time to do it. But it's fantastic. I'm loving this. It will start going quicker and we will get the build together, but I'd like to do step by step, just in case that you build it and you want to see how someone shouldn't have done it, and how you can do it and make a great aircraft. So that leaves me one thing to say, is if you are out there, be safe, keep safe, but most of all, have that fun. Life is too short, it really is. Anyway, till next week, thanks for popping by. See you later, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and all that sort of lovely stuff before you walk out the door. Ta-da!